L'intervention sera donc en anglais. Alors je voudrais juste expliquer qui est Gulnara. En fait, quand on a commencé à composer cette journée d'études, j'ai tout de suite dit à Robert, bon, voilà, on ne peut pas imaginer en fait travailler sur le cinéma kazakh sans convier Gulnara Abikeyeva, qui est la grande historienne du cinéma kazakh du Kazakhstan. Il se trouve qu'elle a grandi, elle a fait ses premières armes en tant que chercheur et critique, en même temps en fait que cette fameuse génération de la nouvelle vague kazakh dont a si bien parlé Victor tout à l'heure. Et donc, elle a été vraiment celle qui a, non seulement elle connaît personnellement tous les réalisateurs d'Asie centrale, mais elle a fait des entretiens extensifs avec tous les réalisateurs importants de cette région depuis les années 90. Et elle a donc accompagné vraiment l'établissement d'une cinématographie kazakh post-soviétique. Donc tous ces ouvrages sont des ouvrages de référence sur ce sujet. Et alors je ne vais pas tous les citer parce que sinon on y passerait une heure, mais pour n'en citer qu'un tout récent, le plus récent, elle vient justement d'éditer un ouvrage sur justement la nouvelle vague kazakh, où j'ai eu l'honneur de contribuer, et où il y a aussi des entretiens avec les réalisateurs. Voilà, donc évidemment elle est extrêmement bien placée pour nous parler de l'œuvre de Darijan Omirbaev, et donc voilà, le titre de son intervention c'est les mondes intérieurs et extérieurs de Darijan Omirbaev. Et Gulnara, я передаю вам слово.
Hello, and I want to say thank you so much for Evgeny Zvankin for inviting me to participate in this conference. And surely I'm very happy to see Darijan Omirbaev, who is now in France, and he just came from Vienna, where the large book about his films were published. And my theme of report is Inner and Outer Worlds of Darijan Omirbaev. The conflict between the hero's inner world and external circumstances is the main driver of almost all of Darijan Omirbaev's films. Let's see from the very beginning of his short film Journée, where we see that big world connected with small local village through railroad. In the next, not next, but in the other film, Cardiogramma, we see sanatorium, where we see intersection of the big and small worlds, because sanatorium, like the place where all children from town, from cities, and so on came together. And the main hero, he is representative of his small world. And his involvement, his step to the big world as a teenager began in this sanatorium. In Kairat, we can say that inner world exists more in his dreams, and external world is cruel reality. Why cruel? Because he has the main hero of this film has a lot of problems during his first days, weeks, and months of his life in city. Here, it's interesting that, as I remember, there is no showing inner world of the hero, because it's we see absolutely social drama with problems and so on, and we see how the main hero fights with circumstances. But Journée, Cardiogramma, Kairat, Killer, it's still 1998. We can say that it's the first part of Darijan's work as film director. I think that from 2000 he entered to the new wave of showing inner and outside worlds. Since 2000, Omirbaev put the accent more on the inner world of his heroes. And now I want to show that, for example, in the film The Road, I think that it's the most known maybe in France film, mostly we see inner world of the hero, because we see he's driving to his mother's house, and all his film, his inner thoughts, inner images, inner fantasies, and so on. And reality presents like the subject for the fantasies. Shuga, in the film Shuga, the next very good film, we see strong accent to inner world of the main hero, Sugar, and her conflicts with outside world. In Sugar, maybe it's only one film when the main hero, not man, but woman. Student. The Omirbaev is going deeper to Dostoevsky psychology, Dostoevsky novel, punishment, crime and punishment, and we see that the most important part of the film, when the main heroes, we see feelings and thoughts of the main hero. Sorry for my mistake. Last film, Akin, is formed from the inner world of poet. And now we see not only horizontal connections like with Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, we see vertical connections with history, with historical poet Mohammed about the main hero things during the film. Okay, next. Only in this year, in 2022, was realized this book, Kazakh New Wave. It's, why I'm showing this book because it's 600 pages book dedicated to Kazakh New Wave. And in special chapter, maybe the largest chapter of this book, we see the interview with Omirbaev, and the title of this interview, My Films about Inner World of the Human Being. And he says in this interview that it seems to me that sociality in my films is an external side. Most importantly, my films are about feelings, about thoughts, about the inner world of a person. And as I understand a little bit why Omirbaev did a lot of citations from book, from Hermann Hesse, from Dostoevsky, from Kafka and others, because it's not only demonstration of his attitude to philosophy, to literature, and so on and so on. He chose these items, these pieces of literature, which really shows the inner world of his person. For example, in the film Killer, we see how the man read a little novel of Kafka, railroad stations or railroad connections, something like this. It's absolutely about inner sense, inner outlook of the person. Let's go not from film to film, but I want to make focus on 3 films, which I think can show how Omirbaev shows inner world of persons. In the same book, I'll show you, it's article of my PhD student Dinara Bergenova, Spatial Transitions in the World of Omirbaev. And we did this, we worked under this article maybe half of the year, and as an architecture, she did this scheme, which is very interesting. This is large world, like big world. This is small world of this boy, and this is the world of the dreams. And you see that some intersections between big and small, between dreams and the small world, big world, and little bit section, which is intersection of all of these 3 worlds. I mean, it's interesting scheme which did my PhD students, and what she said. She said that big world and small world has intersection in the Sims railroad. For example, another intersection between small world and dreams, it's club like a provincial club where the main hero is going. But I think that's the most interesting thing. It's intersection between big world and world of dreams. It's scene of concert, because during this concert, it's the shot from his dreams. He imagined, this main hero, small boy, imagined how he became famous, how he became known. And that is why this club is not like real club, it's like club in his dream. And this intersection of these spatials are between dream world and big world. As for real world, I said before that it's intersection between just big world and small world. And as you remember in this film, Journée, two boys are trying to sell melons, and one man, he cannot pay them. He didn't pay them money, and this is they are lost. They are very sad. Another film, Kairat, which was very known and which presented the style of Dirijan Omirbaev, and when we say the style, we can say that this intersection of real and dream world. It's and we can say that dreams are the main space of heroes' inner world. And then, in 1992, I was editor-in-chief of a magazine with the title Asia Kino, Asia Cinema. And, we did something like Rashomon Gate. It was a special section with 4 opinions of different people. It was opinion of director, opinion of producer, opinion of actor, and film critic. And during this, in 4 sections, very short interview of Dirijan Omirbaev, Kafka, Büchner, Buñuel, he wrote here, that only, okay, I have citation, I tried to show the inner experiences of my hero, and I decided to introduce dreams into the plot. Of course, I wouldn't have dared to build the composition of the film on dreams if I hadn't seen Tarkovsky's Ivan's childhood or Buñuel's modest charm of bourgeoisie. And he said in this small article that he took one scene from Buñuel film and he used this film in his film Kairat. Which scene? Let's see. There are 4 dreams in Kairat, only 4, but what I want to underline that some things, for example, when a young man and his girl Indira are sitting in cinema and see some film, very strange film in the style of Margaret Mead documentary about some tribes, like nude men and women are going and